Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of the Zondags weekday live show here on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, very much welcome there as well. So very cool you're here. If you're watching this live, please give me a hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, I'd really appreciate the hashtag replay. And if you have any questions what we're talking about today in the show, leave a comment in the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, give me a like, and of course, subscribe to the channel. So that is the administration of today. My name is Maurice Zondag, therefore the Zondags weekday live show. I'm here every day of the week, every weekday of the week. So Monday to Friday, right? On the weekends, I take my days off. And I'm here to serve you with my knowledge, insights, inspiration, things that I think are important in life. And I happily want to share those things with you, as I am a personal leadership lion. Yes, I've been doing some rebranding on the brand of Master Your Personality, so you can see the brand of the lion. We're trying to create the lion out of you, right? So that's what we're doing here at the Master Your Personality. Create the life that you desire, what you find important, and do the things that you desire and that you think benefits your life and your social community and your loved ones and everyone around you. That's what we talk about. So that is where the show is about. And of course, today I've got this great subject for you because God, people, please stop stressing out so much. Wherever you look, right? If it's on the news, if it's in politics, if it's on Facebook, things are exploding these days, right? There's so much stress going on, and everyone's stressed and angry, and we're against this and we're against that, and we're being offended easily. And geez, come on, relax. Life's supposed to be fun, right? Try to create the fun element in it. So today we're going to talk about how do you decrease your stress? How do you lower that feeling of anxiety, or like this feeling of it's like, oh man, I can't take it anymore, or it's getting crazy. How on earth do you do that? Well, it's easy. It's simple. Let me tell you, it's simple. Not always easy, but it is simple. And of course, we all know the blah, 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 try to meditate, blah, 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 be grateful, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we know all that. And that's true, right? It's been proven. If you meditate once a day, you will feel more relaxed. If you feel grateful for the things that you have, instead of fighting and blaming others for the things you don't have, be grateful for the things you have. You will feel better than stressed. I mean, the funny thing is our brain can do only one thing at a time. There is no such thing as doing multiple things, right? It's multitasking is a impossibility with our brain, because our brain is linear, right? It's not parallel. It's a series of changes that are happening. You can't think of two things at the same time. It's either one and then the other one really quickly afterwards, but it's never the same time. That's just how our brains operate. So multitasking is absolutely impossible. So we can't be angry and happy at the same time. We can't be stressed and relieved at one time. We can't be happy and in love at one time. That's interesting. So even complementary feelings can't exist together at the same time. Now, at least the thoughts we're having about that, right? You can feel a certain way, and that's combined some sort of a way that we say that we are feeling, and that also, of course, makes us think in a certain way. But the way you think is always one way. It's either you're angry, you have angry thoughts, or you have stressed out thoughts, or you have happy thoughts, or whatever, right? They're just one. And that is important to understand, because if you're feeling stressed, you get a gas bill you can't pay, or you get a phone call from your boss and he's saying, if you're coming in tomorrow morning, please stop by my office first. Those like, oh my God, what did I do? Those stressed out feelings, those are the feelings that is, what you're feeling at that moment. And it kind of like happens to you, right? You can't control it. It just happens to you. So how come it happens to you? Well, it happens because you have these certain aspects and expectations of things. So when you think your boss is calling you, it might be bad. Now, understand that our brain is programmed not to make us happy. It's not programmed to make us rich. It's not programmed to make you feel good. It's not programmed to even to fall in love or to be sexually driven. No, your brain is the number one task of your brain is to survive. It will do anything it can in its possibilities it has to make you survive. Now, what is a danger for you? Could be anything. Could be the lion behind the bushes, right? Back in the old day. Or it can be that call from your boss, or it can be the angry neighbor, or it can be someone who's pissing you off in traffic, right? It can be anything because there's danger. And danger means, be aware because you could die, right? So your brain is programmed to signal all the dangers around you. But let's be honest. Most of the times when you feel that stressed out feeling of your boss calling you or whatever, the end result is never really what you thought it would be. There's just this little moments that you feel like, oh, damn it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. God, my God, right? But that's only the instant. That's like really not that much. The most of the times that you feel like you're, oh my God, it's stressed out and this is gonna happen. It's not gonna happen like that because it's in the future and you can tell what's in the future, right? You try to predict the future because of you have experience in the past, but it doesn't always mean that your boss is, firing you. It might even be that he has some good news, but he just, it's the end of the day. He had a hard day at work. He had some people nagging, so he's not really in a good mood, and he tries to call you, and with his voice of well, I had this terrible day. Hey, guy, hey, Maurice, this is me. Listen, if you come in tomorrow morning, visit my office. Come by my office first, right? That is always that's just a situation, and you don't know the context of how he is, right? You just take that little moment where you hear him talk to you in a certain way, and you interpret that as in, oh my God, he's gonna fire me, because it's danger, right? And that's a dangerous situation. Hi, Johan. Great you're here. Awesome. Come see some comments here. Johan, our favorite guest here. Interesting that indeed, whenever the manager calls, I feel a sudden stress. Oh yes, indeed. And that's an interesting thought. I've had that as well. And the thing is that we feel this hierarchy, right? Someone has power over you. And when someone has power over you, he can do things to you, right? He can fire you. So whenever you're like, oh my God, what does he want, right? And there's this coming this email. And it also depends on the type of person he is, right? If he's really a warm person with really empathetic and really like understanding always and things like that, the power tilt isn't that strong. But if he's like a real tough, badass person who also likes to tell you what he thinks of the situation, it's that's stronger, right? So you get more like scared. Okay, he's got in control over me. So it's important to switch your mindset and things like that. And indeed, Johan, true, it's always seems to turn out it was someone usual normal thing. Indeed, that is normally the case. Thank God, right? We would have a bad life if every call of our manager would be the I'm got you're fired call, right? That's not the situation. So thankfully it's not. But how come that we feel so stressed? So one way is that one thing is the way we think of ourselves. If my boss sends me an email or he gives me a call and I feel like, ooh, what's going on? I have a situation where I create that I am less than he is. Just because he is your boss, right? Being your boss just means he has different responsibilities than you have. And one of those responsibilities is leading his team, making sure that everyone's happy. And if it's not going as well as planned, he should take measurements, which can be drastic, right? So, yes, he has the power, his responsibility to be able to fire you. But he has so many other things he has responsibility over as well, including making sure that you are facilitated by, having the best option to do your work in the best way. So if he is calling you, the better chance is that it's one of those things. How can he help you creating your situation in a better way? Now, okay, we all know these guys, right? They're mostly guys. These guys, these assholes that are the manager because they just went up there through the scale of, doing the stuff, right? You know what I mean? So they are there, the a-holes, right? If you're in such a situation and you can't manage your stress right, if you don't have like this feeling of I don't give a fuck, right? If you don't have that, it could be in your personality, right? Something you didn't learn. Please do yourself a favor and get the fuck out of there, right? Find something where people actually value you to who you are, right? Instead of playing you down and pushing you and bullying you. So if that's the case, and there's, it's not in your power to change that because you can't change anyone else but you, right? It has to come from out of you. Go away, find another job. Even in these days of COVID, right? Okay, there are a lot of jobs lost, but there's also a lot of people who changed jobs right in these days, actually. So don't be scared of taking such a step, right? I mean, don't go just like say, okay, next tomorrow, like, okay, boss, I saw this live video from Maurice and he says I got to quit because you're an asshole. Don't do that, right? Be smart. Find another job and tell your boss to go his way, right? But if that's not the situation, if he's just a normal person who is a person who has to manage your team and he does everything in his power to do that, which means also that he has the power to fire you, which is just one of his responsibilities. If that is happening, make sure that you also focus on all the other things that he's doing, right? See the power that he's doing, see the responsibilities that he has. And you can admire him for it, of course, right? It's a tough job being a manager or a director or things like that. It's a tough job. That's why they get paid more than you, right? Because they have more responsibilities than you have, probably. So if you're feeling like that, you'll see him differently. That's for sure one thing that will happen first. Indeed, once I left a very well-paid job in France after 3 months. Exactly, Johan. And I did that too, right? I had this job where I felt like miserable. It was, and the money was good. But one day I realized that I only get money once a month, right? But I had to go to work every freaking day. So the balance was out of scale, right? I couldn't manage it. So I left, of course, indeed. So that's the best thing to do. So if you acknowledge who he is and all the responsibilities that he has, you'll see him differently. And then the other thing is that you have to view yourself in a different way. You have values. You belong there, right? Let's assume that you belong there. So if he's calling you, the chances are even that he is praising you, right? Yeah, Maurice, I would just want to say I got this project and I really wanted to say that you've done very well. I'm proud of you. Doing great. Keep on the good work. Let's kick ass today, right? I mean, that's a possibility too. So being stressed is not necessary if you're feeling yourself confident enough. Now, working on your confidence can be very beneficial in many ways. It makes you a better public speaker. It makes you more attractive to women, or from women perspective, even to men, right? There are a lot of men that like tough women, as in confident women, right? So there's a lot of things in favor to be more confident. So work on that. Build that confidence in yourself and know that you are good enough. I know, right? It's one of our core fears that we have, being not good enough. I got this great tip. I think it was from Maria Peer, which is a hypnotherapist, great person, and she has a she has a trick, and what she does, and she teaches people, and it's very very easy. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it the bold way, or you can do it the not so bold way. Um, the first way is get yourself a note, right, like a sticky note, and write down with your pen, with your favorite pen, write down, I am okay, or I am good enough. Now, take it out and stick it to your, where's the camera? Yeah, stick it to your screen on the mirror, right? Or on your computer screen, or wherever you see it at least once or twice or more times a day. I am good enough. Our brain likes programming. It wants to be heard what it has to be doing, right? So if you're telling your brain, I am good enough, if you tell him that every day, he'll start believing it. that's the beauty of our brain. Now that's the not so bold way. The most boldest way you can imagine. If you're a guy, I challenge you, and let me know in the comments if you dare to challenge to do this. Go tomorrow to a drugstore and go to the makeup area. Hold on. Hold your horses. Go to the makeup area and look around, and they got all these eye brushes and these little feathers thingies and all these stuff that we men just don't get, right? Most of us. And pick yourself the biggest or the most red that you can find, the reddest lipstick that you can find, and buy it. So you walk along with that enormous red lipstick to the cashier, which is always some 19-year-old beautiful girl, right? And you put it on the counter, and she's going to ask, is it a present? And you'll say, no, it's for myself. And she'll go like, okay, well, it's the 2020s, so, right? Go home with the lipstick. Go to your bathroom mirror. Screw off the little top. Screw it out so the pinpoint will get out there, and write on your mirror, I am good enough. With the lipstick in red, and you'll see it every morning and every evening when you're brushing your teeth. And you're programming your mind, you are good enough. So that's the bold way, and I challenge you to do that, right? I've done it. It's not on my mirror currently, but it has been on my mirror. I am good enough, because it works. That's why it's not there anymore, because I know that I'm good enough, right? I am the lion, so I know I'm good enough, whatever failure I have in my life. So be confident. Being confident creates a state of I don't care what others think of me. So I don't have to be stressful when others are bullying me or trying to put me down or trying to control my life or, having the power over me. It is your decision to go to work every day. Every day you can make another decision. Every day, right? So get that. So stress by others is, cool, Johan is going to do it. Awesome, man. You got to take a picture. You got to take a picture and put it out there, because I want to see the proof that you did it. Awesome. You're the man, Johan. Awesome. Great. So that's cool. Being stressed by others is because you are feeling that I'm not enough, that someone else can control how I feel. But you shouldn't accept that, because it's your freaking life. Now, finding a hobby also helped me increase confidence. Absolutely. The funny thing about confidence, it has to do with your comfort zone, right? So I like this analogy. I'm an actor, right? I've been playing on stages and movies and whatever not for decades. Whenever I go on stage, I feel nervous, right? But I practiced. So I know my lines. I know what to do. I know when to get on and when the camera hits on or whatever. I know what to do. It is my comfort zone. When I'm on a stage, I feel great. I feel comfortable. So what happens when you are comfortable? No one can tell you different that you suck, right? Whatever you do when you feel confident, you feel comfortable, you feel confident because no one's going to do you anything, right? When you're on a stage and you haven't learned your lines and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to talk, you don't know how to engage the audience, and you don't feel it like your comfort zone, what happens? You don't feel confident. So whatever you do that makes you feel comfortable makes you confident. So if you want to be confident, do stuff that are comfortable for you, right? Now there's a trick that I can just emphasize a little bit. If you want to grow your comfort zone, because that makes you a more confident person, right? So it has more areas where you are confident. If you grow the area, you need to step out that comfort zone sometimes. And we call that the learning zone. And it's this little zone outside of your comfort zone. And it's scary, and you can fail, and it's like, should I do it? But it's just your learning zone. It's not your panic zone, which is the other area next to that, right? Where you go like freaking out and don't know what to do anymore. You don't go there. It's just this one little step outside of your comfort zone. You want to learn to play the piano because you got to play for this birthday party of your friend, which you promised in some drunken mood, whatever. If you don't practice, that's gonna be the panic zone, right? So you got to build it up. You got to start practicing playing piano, and if you do that for 20 hours, you can play a song, right? You just played it like that. It's just like that. You just learn step by step by step, and then the funny thing is that the learning zone becomes the new comfort zone. So you're increasing your comfort zone, and when you do that, the place which was first the panic zone now becomes the learning zone for your area, right? Right again, near to the comfort zone. So that's way how you can expand that. And when you're in your comfort zone, you feel confident because no one can tell you shit, right? Because you know your shit. That's how easy it is. And that's how simple it is. That's how you can do it. And that is one of the best ways to decrease your stress. If you feel that you are good enough, that no one can tell you anything else but what you know, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to be cocky, that you have to be a know-it-all, and that you don't have to take any feedback from others. No, of course not. Learning is also listening from the feedback from your outer world. But being confident is knowing that you're good at something, and also knowing that you're not good at something, right? So okay, yeah, Johan, this happened to me with the drone. He's a drone pilot, right? I was very scared in the beginning to fly far. Now I send it to 2-3 kilometers distance. Indeed, because you're building your confidence. It's now in your comfort zone. You know what to do. You know how to control the stick, right? You know how to work the business there. So you feel confident. There are people that are freaking scared the shit out of themselves to do a video live on Facebook, right? Potentially 7 billion people can watch this, right? 7 billion people. They're not watching this. They're just a couple of views here, right, today. But that doesn't matter. So being confident about doing this is because I know what I'm doing, right? And I don't care if I get haters. The other day, I got someone who gave some negative comment. Well, that's his problem, right? If he doesn't like the show, don't watch it, right? I don't care. So it's being confident, being in your comfort zone. That is really one thing that can help you a lot, decreasing the stress. You are good enough, and you know your comfort zone. You know what you can do. So relieving your stress when you feel that stress, and that's the second thing. Then we're going to close off. When you feel the stress coming up, the boss is calling. This letter is coming in. Your girlfriend is nagging, or whatever the situation is. If you feel the stress coming up, you signal it. And you say, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? Let me just say it how it is. I'm just saying what you're thinking, right? What's happening here? How is this stressful feeling that I'm having helping me solve this situation? And let me tell you, a stressful feeling is never helpful for a situation for solving it. Only when it's like a real death to, life to death situation, right? If you get mugged or anything, right, or attacked, there's stress. And that's the adrenaline that helps you create extra energy, be more aware of things happening. You can run faster, right? Then it's helpful. But if you're in traffic and someone's cutting you off, you feel stress, anger, right? Doesn't help you. Doesn't help you make it a solid solution. If your boss calling you and you're worrying all night long, can't sleep, and you're going to work with your eyes on your knees, right? And your boss saying, well done, you've stressed out for nothing, dude. So stress is never helpful. So you need to signal it. What is happening here? Breathe. The only thing, breathe. And when you start breathing and focus on your breath, like that. It's stupid. I know it sounds stupid, but do it like that. In through your nose and out through your mouth. What the breathing does is lowering your feelings, lowering your senses, right? It's getting you back into normal state, because there's a biological process going on. If you're feeling stressed, a couple of hormones are kicking in, which will increase your heart rate, increase your blood pressure. It will do all things in your brain where it makes you more alert, and it will get your breathing shallow. It makes it up here in your chest. Well, what happens when you're asleep? If you're asleep, really asleep, or when your spouse is asleep, watch it. How is he or she breathing? Here, maybe for a couple of seconds. But if someone's really in their deep sleep, in their most relaxing deep sleep, they're from their belly. Deep breaths. So you really feel your breathing going down into your belly. And whenever you're relaxed, all the systems get neutralized, right? New hormones get created, which gives you more of a happy feeling, like serotonin, things like that, right? And the anxiety hormones are being pushed away again. So if you're feeling stressed, signal it. Count to 10, breathe, and you'll find out that the stress will be gone. And you'll know that, it's still an asshole, the guy in front of you, right? You can change that. And you can't even teach him a lesson by doing the same to him, because, it's only escalating, right? And only bad things can happen from that. So be wise, be the wisest, right? Be smart, and, focus on yourself, focus on the breathing. Be sure that you know that you're good enough. Go buy that freaking lipstick and write it down on your mirror. I am good enough, with a big, that's it. Because you are good enough. Everyone is good enough. Did you know that you alone, just you, I'm really talking to you right now, right? You. There has never, ever, ever in the whole history of the world, which is millions years of old, there has never, ever, ever, ever been someone exactly like you. And even today, 7.8 billion people, there is no one, not even your twin brother or sister, who is exactly like you. And there will never, ever, ever be in the future, how long it takes, how many million years we as species will survive, will there be someone like you. So yes, you are unique. You are the only one that's there. Don't try to be like someone else, because there are already so many others, right? Be yourself. Be the most unique version of yourself, and accept yourself for being that. Don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself. That's it for today. I hope it kind of like woken up the lion within you, right? That's what I said. We're gonna rebrand the brand a little bit. You see the logo already there? There? Where is it? Yeah, here. Yeah, the new logo, the lion, right? So we're gonna see that. We're gonna build the lion in you, right? Be the lion of your forest. And I might even invite you to be one of the lions at the table. That's like the best place to be, right? Where you actually can control everything in your life. So if you want to know more about that, go to masteryourpersonality.com, watch these videos every day from Monday to Friday. I'm here, same time, same place, 11 o'clock in the evening at CET time zone, which is Europe. And if you're living in the US or Canada, it's the EST at 5 p.m. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Maurice, and I'm signing off. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.